So the ex-spouse, so I found this person unqualified. The background revealed significant historic problems involving poor anger management. The agency mitigated these in background because they were dated, like 12 years, 15 years ago, thought everything's okay now. The ex-spouse reported domestic violence, but this was 15 years earlier and was mitigated by her own history of mental problems as assessed by the background investigator. Like, I interviewed the spouse, she told me 15 years ago he beat her up, but she's wacko anyway, You know what I mean? You've seen these. They discredit the background source. So I get this person, and here's what we saw. All right, so we see an elevated Bren, and nothing else remarkable about it. All of the higher order scales, the emotional internalizing dysfunction, thought dysfunction, and behavioral externalizing dysfunction are elevated relative to a police applicant norm and almost on the behavioral externalizing dysfunction scale of clinical significance, but certainly quite significant relative to the police applicant population. RC4 is at T equals 65, and outside normal limits on RC2, RC4, RC6, RC7, 8, and 9, as well as demoralization. Somatic cognitive are not particularly noteworthy. Internalizing, I mean, we could talk about his self-doubt, but it's not. There is helplessness, hopelessness, one item. On an otherwise normal MMPI, those would become more meaningful, but we're gilding the lily when we start trying to parse out meaning from those. We have a lot of bigger fish to fry here. Sorry for all the mixed metaphors, but the family problems, again, elevated, not surprising given this person's domestic violence history. But what do we see here? What's of concern here is certainly the DISC. The disconstraint is quite high, clinically significant, and negativity is quite high for a police applicant population. So would this be troubling to you? Given his history, yes. Given the allegations, yes. That is, this young man's, or this man's problems are not adequately behind him. He has a static history, meaning there's nothing that can be done about it. You got to check the box that he has a history of anger management problems. It's a static history. But he has there are contemporary findings that suggest that his potential for this kind of disconstraint and overly aggressive behavior remains true today. So this is one that I too found unqualified. And this is, I just made it easy. It's the same one. So the history of domestic assault reported later, or that I reported earlier. Oh yeah, this is another feature of this case. So even though the wife said, okay, I take it back, he didn't actually beat me up. She did retract her story. She nevertheless spent 8 months in a woman's shelter for battered women.
The holiday.
He found him.
Yeah, she found her. I'm serious. Yeah, no, I absolutely agree. She found her. Yeah, and everything changed. Yeah, that's right.